Hello, online crew, and welcome to today's live where we've just got a bit of real talk going on today. How are you all? No captain's hat today. I'm not feeling much of a captain today, but I'm just going to share with you sort of what's gone on with me over the weekend and how I'm feeling and all that kind of stuff. And I have a little bit of a message as to sort of what happened with me over the last few days and sort of the lessons sort of from it. So I'm sure nothing I'm going to say today is going to be new to any of you. But I think it needs to be, we need to have some reminders every now and again about some certain things regarding ourselves and life and our business and things like that. So that's what I'm going to share today. So if we haven't met before, my name is Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain, but no hat today because I'm just not feeling it. But at the beginning of every week, I share something to do with personal growth, personal development, something to help us be a better version of ourselves. And sometimes we have to look in the mirror, regarding what we're doing and how we're leading our life and how we're looking after ourselves or whether we're not in health, in business, and all those kind of things. So a bit of a reality check for me. So I just wanted to share that with you. Not sure if you're aware, but I ended up in hospital on the weekend, and I'll share with you why and sort of the lessons from it. But there's also a business message in here as well that I really want to get across because I think this is important as, it plays out with your success in business as well as, I'll get to the point in a minute. Just trust me, it'll come. Couple of reminders. What's happening this week? The 30th round, I can't believe it. The 30th round of my branding course is starting on the 2nd of November. So if you have not sorted out your branding, stop ignoring it. Your branding is the foundation of everything you do online. You've got to sort out your branding first. If you're a high income earner, you've got huge influence and you've got a huge network, not as important, admittedly. But if you don't have a huge network of people to draw from for it to build your business, you don't have huge influence and numbers on social media, your brand is really important. Because that's how you end up growing a community, growing a tribe, growing a people, a network of people that are going to know, like, and trust you, that want to buy your stuff or go into business with you. So building a brand is just so important. So it's the last call, really, because we start that on the 2nd of November. So if you go to helenmartinonline.com/branding, have a look at it, whether that's something that you need. And coaching community members, you get a special discount. So reach out for the discount code if you don't know what that is. It's also sitting in the coaching community Facebook group. And talking about the coaching community, this week's training is about curiosity posts, how to craft curiosity posts, how to, put them together. What do they mean? It's so important in this industry to know how to craft curiosity posts. So we've got a training this week on that. And Clubhouse tomorrow, we're talking about how do you master your mindset to really set you up for success in your business. So very important discussion. Highly recommend you attend that as well. So who is here with me live? Say hello. We've got Cherie, we've got Olive, we've got Laurie. Oh my, I hope you're feeling better, Helen. Take good care of yourself. Thank you, Olive. I'm a little bit worse for wear at the moment, but I'll be fine. Hello, Beth. Hello, Tonya. Hello, Susan. How are you? I'm home and I'm doing okay. Hey, Tony. Good to see you on. Anyone that's on Instagram, hello to you guys too. So basically, I'm not going to give you all the details, but what I want to share with you is last week, I ignored some warning signs from my body. I was starting to get some pain and a lump was growing. And I ignored it. I ignored the temperature I was getting. I was ignoring the nausea I was getting because I was busy. So fast forward about 5 days, and that lump that was developing ruptured. So that's all you really need to know. I'm not going to tell you anymore. But that caused me to be, to go into emergency, get attended to, all the rest of it. Yes, I'm home. I'm okay. I'm a bit fluey and, other things and infection and, whatever, but I'll be fine. I've been referred to a surgeon now to deal with the lump and, things like that. So I'm sure everything will be fine. Don't worry about me. And thank you so much to all the people that saw I just put one story up. And, I got a lot of messages. So thank you to those of you that reached out to me individually. I will be absolutely fine. What's my message from this? If you don't have your health, what do you have? Our health is everything. And I stupidly just ignored the pain because I was busy. It was just, if I'd got it attended to, it wouldn't have ended up rupturing and I wouldn't have ended up in the trouble that I did and, all the rest of it. It's just silly stuff because we're busy. How many of you have kind of pushed aside something that you need to attend to medically because you're busy? Or you're helping everybody else around you except for yourself. You leave no time for yourself, no time for self-care. Then you end up getting really run down. And, the cost and the expense and the time of getting sick is so much more than if you see some warning signs, deal with it and get it dealt with, and then you're fine. Like, I don't know if any of you have developed like an illness or anything kind of serious from leaving something for too long. But if you attend to things when they come up and fix them, then they don't end up with something that's going to end up sending you to specialists and this and time and energy and bigger problems than you needed to and all that kind of stuff. Nothing is worth your health. Nothing. So there's the first thing. And I know you guys all know that, so I'm not sharing anything with you you don't already know. It's just like a slap in the face for me because I work very hard. I take my commitments, to you guys, my coaching community and everything else I do seriously. But, sometimes you need a little bit of a slap in the face. And I got mine. The second thing I want to share from this is when you let life control you rather than you control your life, like every single one of us should take time for self-care in the morning. Whether that's relaxation, meditation, reading, affirmations, whatever it is for you, every one of us should do that every day. There should never be a day where you're not doing something for yourself because you get lost in what everybody else wants from you. And that includes, your email, your phone, your messenger and things like that. How many of you wake up first thing in the morning and you go straight to your phone? And some of you will even do it in bed. I don't do that. I just don't do that. But some of you will have your phone, you pick it up and you'll be attending to messages and emails and whatever before your feet have even hit the floor to do what you need to do for the day. You've already attending to what other people want from you for the day. Or you're filling your brain with all the news and the garbage from your email or, other things rather than filling your brain to start the day with something very positive for you, like reading a book or meditating or something. Like you've got to start your morning with stuff for you, not stuff of what everyone else wants you to see. So there's all of that, but it also relates heavily to your businesses because I don't doubt there's a huge number of you that are doing things for everybody else or wasting time scrolling social media or wasting time checking your email when there's something that you should be doing for yourself in your business. Terrible analogy, but your business could rupture by not giving it the attention that it deserves. You know what I mean? Bad analogy, but if you don't prioritize you for your health and you don't prioritize your business for what you need to do for you, then it will fall apart. So your health, you'll fall apart, but your business as well. Like so many people say, I didn't have the time. Yes, you do have the time. Everybody has 24 hours in the day. You're just not prioritizing your business. You're not doing things, not when you're unwell. Like don't mix the two. You're just not doing things for yourself. You're doing things for everyone else and your family and your husband and your wife and your kids or your grandkids. And then you get to the end of the day and your to-do list hasn't been done. But everyone else got that what they want from you. Does that make sense? Can any of you relate to that? Where, you kind of let life control you instead of you having a really good plan and a DMO and you're following it religiously because that's what you want and what you need to build your business or, health wise. So look at it separately. You don't want to be doing all of that when you're unhealthy because you need to look after yourself and get healthy before you can build the business. But do you know what I mean? Like so many of us will just prioritize other things other than ourselves. Or when it comes down to your business, you may not actually be executing the things you know you need to do because you're wasting time doing all the other things for everybody else. Make sense? Want to see what some of the comments that you've got there. Don't worry about me, Susan. I'm going to be just fine. Guilty. Yes, you take care of us, make us take care. It's so easy to ignore stuff with ourselves when we're so focused on something or someone else. Cherie's dealing with that type of thing right now. Hey, Donna, good to see you on. It's hard to take our own advice. How many of you know that if a friend came to you and they were struggling, that you'd say, look after yourself, or, you've got to put yourself number one, or you got to do this, you got to do that. And you don't actually do what you're telling people that you would do. Sometimes we give the best advice, but we don't really take our own advice and look in the mirror and look after ourselves the right way or prioritize our business the right way. So sometimes we really need to sort of take that on ourselves and listen to our own advice and actually execute it. I don't anymore because of our VIP training. Awesome, Susan. So proud of you. We have to make priorities and stick to them. That's the thing. A lot of people do make priorities, but they don't follow them through. So, actually following through with things that you've set up for yourself is just as important as setting them up for yourself. I can relate to that. Everything else is more important than me. Yes, you make total sense. Hello, Teresa. Yes, Marilyn, I think we are. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy and we push and we push and we push. But here's what I know to be true for me. When I'm firing on all cylinders and I'm good, the correlation between me being good and what's happening in my business is direct. So what I mean by that is when I'm firing on all cylinders, when I'm really healthy, when I've got heaps of energy, my business is different. It's more successful. I'm achieving more. When I'm not good, then, things fall down in my business. I'm not being as productive. And being unhealthy is, this is so going to come out the wrong way. No, it's just a waste of time being unhealthy. So if we put more energy into looking after ourselves more and being the best version of ourselves and eating better and exercise, we're going to feel amazing. When you feel amazing, your confidence in your business is different. What you'll be able to achieve, the energy that you can put into your business is totally different than when you're drained, you're unhealthy. And how many of you have a bit of a vicious cycle that when you're not feeling healthy, you actually get unhealthier? Like you're not feeling good and you go for the junk food or the sugar and you just make it a whole lot worse. So, there can be vicious cycles around that. And then you just don't feel like building your business, or you don't feel like following up with that person, or you don't feel like having a conversation with somebody or sending that email or sending that message because you don't feel good. So when you don't feel good, you don't do things. When you feel good, you do more things. Simple, isn't it? So the correlation between your health and what's going on in your business, there is a direct correlation. And I know that to be true for me. How about you? Do you feel that? Like when you're feeling good and you're healthy and you're confident and things are going well, you feel more energized to do things in your business. When you feel flat, you end up in hospital like I did or whatever, it's just like, I don't want to do that. I've done very little the last 2 days, which is probably a good thing. And I actually have to talk myself through that, believe it or not. Like last night, I was actually sitting on the couch watching TV. It doesn't happen very often. And I'm like, it's okay, Helen. Don't feel guilty. You're under control. You know what you've got to do this week. It's okay. Just sit and enjoy the useless reality TV show that you're watching. But I had to make that okay for myself because I don't normally just sort of sit and watch TV. But sometimes we need to give ourselves grace to recuperate and recover so then I can be awesome for you guys in my business. Does that make sense? And I just find it just when I'm not, like now I'm being referred to a specialist and they're in the city, they're not in the country town that I'm in. So I'm going to have to take like probably a half a day to go and see them. And, you know, it's going to probably be expensive and all that kind of stuff. And now because I left a little issue that I should have dealt with last week, turned into a big issue on the weekend, ended up in hospital, and now I'm being referred to a specialist. Like, silly me. Hence why I'm talking about it. Because this is just the real stuff that goes on that a lot of us do that we ignore, but we shouldn't. We shouldn't. Yes, preventative medicine. You don't want to wait until it's too late. So if you've got something that needs attending to, stop avoiding it and go attend to it because you could end up with a bigger problem later. I'm in that cycle all the time. So do we have permission to hold you accountable? Oh, geez, Laurie. Okay. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'll agree to that, Laurie. Absolutely true. I'm more energized when I take care of myself first, Donna. Makes sense, Helen. I appreciate your candor. It's easy to let ourselves down, and I think entrepreneurs, particularly with our businesses, we know we have to work really hard to get the results. It's not easy. You know, being your own boss, being an entrepreneur, being accountable to yourself, really. You might have mentors and friends that also keep you accountable and things like that, and that can help. But ultimately, your success comes down to you. All you. You know, it's so different to a job. So you've got to prioritize and you've got to put the energy into it. But it does require you know, you feeling for the most part pretty good most of the time to be able to have the energy to do that. And when you don't, you start letting yourself down. And when you start letting yourself down, then the little voice comes in, you beat yourself up, you feel defeated, you feel a failure. And, you know, none of that helps anybody. So I just, you know, I share a lot with you guys and I'm just being real. I'm not perfect. I was a little bit silly last week in ignoring some pain. And it got worse during the week. I even said to my husband, I'm a little bit worried about this. This is not normal. And I still didn't do anything about it. And then, yeah, it ruptured on Sunday and here we are. But I'm home. I'm fine. I'll do whatever the specialists tell me to do. And it's not serious. So don't worry about, you know, don't anybody worry about it. It's just one of those things that, you know, we need to look after ourselves better, including myself. I'm just being honest here that, you know, I'm not perfect in any way, shape or form. I'm very driven for my work and sometimes that gets me into trouble, which it did in the last week. So I'm just raising it with you guys to just, I guess, don't do that. Don't do what I've done. And what I love about this industry particularly is it is very forgiving if you need to take a little bit of time off. Do you agree? Like if something's going on in your world, whether it's you or family or somebody you need to look after or something like that, you can step away for a little bit and you can come back like, you know, very shortly after and just pick up where you left off. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So sometimes we need to have a little bit of grace and step away. And I'm sure if I said to you guys, and I don't feel the need to, you guys might think differently, but if I said I'm not going live for the rest of the week because I'm just going to sleep and rest, which I can't stand doing. So I might as well just sit in a chair and talk to you because I'd just be sitting there lying there going, well, I probably could have gone live and had a chat with the crew. So, I mean, obviously if I was really, really sick, I would do that. But you wouldn't not ever turn up live with me again because of that. Would you? Like if I said I'm not going live the rest of the week because I'm sick, you'd be like, that's okay. You look after yourself and you'd come back like next week. Like it's not a big deal sometimes when we need to step away. And I am going live this week, so that, don't worry about that. But if I needed to, I would, and I'm sure you guys would understand. So the same thing for you in your businesses. It's okay to take a little break. I love that about this industry. But the most important thing here is when you're awesome, your business will probably be more awesome. When you're not awesome, and some of you might not be awesome. Some of you might not be happy. Some of you might be unhealthy. Some of you might be dealing with a lot of stuff. So deal with your stuff. Work out what your non-negotiables are. So there's things that have to be done or attended to, or a message here and then, and just do the minimum non-negotiables to keep whatever needs to be ticking over, and leave the rest. Get yourself better, firing on all cylinders, and then, you pick up where you left off, and it's completely okay. Completely okay. Just checking your comments here. Only because we love you. Thank you, Laurie. We learn from our mistakes, Helen, and then we hope and pray we will not do it again. But life is real and we are real and we all do it. Hugs to you for moving forward and being a human. Thank you, Marilyn. And here's my biggest message in all of this. And if you really listen to some of the things I say sometimes, you would have heard this many a time. It's no one can ever do enough personal development training or meditation or exercise or whatever to be perfect, and never falter, never get sick, never have a negative thought, never get down, never get affected by people and what they say, never not care about what anybody thinks. There is no amount of personal development training and things that you can do that will ever stop that. It's how quickly you pick yourself up from that and how quickly you evaluate what it is that you need to do to move on. So you don't sit, you don't dwell, you don't continue. If you're struggling with a sickness, get sicker, like I did. Generally, well, that's just a sign of me leaving myself last. That's all that is. And that I've reevaluated and I know I can't do that. And we slip back. Like I know I shouldn't do that. And I go through cycles where I'm great. And I go through other cycles where I'm not. And what happened last week was where I was not. So be it. But the evaluating from that and go, I can't let that happen again. So you learn and you move quicker. Does that make sense? You pivot quicker. Something happens, it upsets you, it makes you angry, however it affects you, you deal with it in the moment, but then you pick yourself and you move up and you evaluate, like, what do I need to do next to get better, or to get over that, or to do what I need to do. So stuff is always going to happen in all our lives. None of us are ever, ever, ever going to be perfect. It's impossible. But whatever you're going through, the quicker you evaluate and work out, okay, what do I need to do next, and get out of it and move on, the better off you will be in life. Does that make sense? So the quicker you pivot from whatever it is that you're dealing with into a solution seeker and not dwelling in whatever's going on for you. If you dwell in it and you sit in your sadness and you wallow in the negative stuff, or you don't go and attend to your health, like you don't pick yourself up and do what you need to do, or somebody upsets you and you sit there for weeks and dwell on it, or something's not quite right in your life but you sit on and dwell on it, that's your fault. Sorry. We all have choices. So things are going to go wrong in our lives, but you have a choice as to how you deal with things. So you pick yourself up and you do what you need to do, or you sit and you stay in the same cycle. So what I would always encourage you to do, instead of sitting, if you know you're in a bit of a cycle, you need to change what's going on up here, because you're allowing that to happen and you need to snap out of it. Okay? So it's all personal growth. Totally understand. I'm glad you'll be good. Hey, I'll be fine, guys. Don't worry about me. We want you to look after yourself. Thank you, Donna. Understand and see when you get back. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. We love you and understand. Great message for it all. Yeah, there you go. Pivot onwards and upwards, absolutely. Focus on the next right step from Laurie. That's really all we ever can concentrate on. And sometimes it's just in the here and now, and you just deal with what you need to deal with now, and then the next step is the next step. So 2 big messages from today. Look after your health, guys, and don't ignore pain or things that are going on with your body. It's your body telling you, listen to me, listen to me. I didn't listen to mine, so it ruptured and went, if you're not going to pay attention to me, I'm going to do something real bad and get your attention. And that's what happened with me. So my lesson learned, okay, my lesson learned. But the same with business. You've got to, instead of taking care of everyone else like you might do with your and leave your health behind, not look after yourself, the same goes with your business. If you want to get things done for you and get more success in your business, you have to prioritize that too and stop doing everything for everyone else, because you'll never reach your goals when you're attending to everyone else. Even the busiest person, you might be the busiest person on the planet in your world. There's always minimum non-negotiables that you could be doing for your business that'll help it, tick along. Messaging some people, following up with some people. It might only be 30 minutes a day, but 30 minutes a day for your business is better than no minutes a day. Okay? I've talked long enough. Thank you for just letting me chat here today about what's going on with me. Yes, I need to look after myself a little bit better, and I will be doing that from now on in. I hope you all do too. So when you're amazing, your business can be amazing as well. Okay. So don't forget, this is the last call to join us for the branding course, which starts on the 2nd of November. HelenMartinOnline.com/branding. And Clubhouse tomorrow is all on this mindset stuff. So listen into that discussion. And coaching community members, this week's training is about curiosity posts. So make sure you attend that training, because it's really helpful to people, particularly in our industry. Okay. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on Clubhouse. Bye, everyone.